So guess what, everybody? It's good to be here today. I'm going to check the phone. We had internet problems. We've been having problems with all our services, so hopefully these things will still work. Well, we still got phone tone. That's good. So we'll be checking that periodically because our signal has been going down. So hopefully we'll have a good time here tonight. We'll be on here for a little while. So a lot has happened over the last week. We haven't been out here for a while, so we just wanted to give you an update on things. As you know, Hurricane Michael will probably be between a Category 3 to a Category 4 hurricane when it hits somewhere between Pensacola, Florida, to somewhere near Indiana. It could hit anywhere there, but it will affect our forecast here in eastern North Carolina. Will be here. Will be impacting our forecast sometime on Thursday with heavy rains and winds up to 60 miles an hour. Not sustained, but we'll have gusts and maybe some higher gusts with some strong thunderstorms and straight line winds and things. So we have a lot of things that are going on, and it's something that we need to be aware of because that is what is happening, folks. Uh, and we know that the battle of the battle for freedom and the battle for due process is on shaky ground right now, and everything about our country is on shaky ground right now because after three girls, we're going after you know, Brett Kavanaugh, who was voted in by a whopping 50 votes to 40 votes. 50 votes he was voted in for to serve on the Supreme Court justice as a judge there, which is wonderful. Republican, a wonderful man. I read his bio and I read his file, and he's really good. And he's not guilty of these things. Of course, he drinks beer. Most of the men that are in Washington, who are whatever side of the aisle that they're on, they all drink beer. They all have done all those things when they were little, but one of the things he didn't do is do those things he was being accused of. I mean, because that's something he would A, remember, and B, he would admit. Just like if I did things, I would admit it. I wouldn't have to hide, or have someone try to lie for me, because I'd tell the truth. I don't need somebody to do that, because that's the kind of person I am and the kind of character I have. I don't need to have someone telling stories on me or lying for me or talking for me, because I can do that myself. I don't need to lie. I can just tell you the truth, save you the time for all the sarcasm. Uh, but that's how people get characterly assassinated. Just like people were saying that Trump is a terrorist and that he's an assassin. There's a lot of people that want to kill him. I think he's a wonderful man. I think he's doing the best that he can, in spite of the things that are going on in this country. But at the same time, I think it's something that we need to be aware of. A lot of people, they're putting this gender X in New York, so this will probably become a nationwide standard where they have male, female, gender, just to choose what gender you are when you go to vote. They're going to have gender X put on there as a third choice. So that basically is the abbreviated form of all the other genders that you want to be, which really there's only two. That's male and female. The last time I checked, either have a penis or you have a vagina. It's really nothing else but that. So I don't know where they come up with all these other agendas. And did you see that thing that Anonymous put out? That these wild nuts. It's not that they're saying this stuff because they're actually reporting this stuff to tell you what they're actually truly saying now out here in these schools, what they're teaching kids, and what they believe. They're saying they have the ability to travel in time, and they say they have this ability, but it hasn't. It's not developed to the point to where they can actually do it yet. But theoretically, which means it's really just a bunch of equations that are written down somewhere, but no, they don't really have an actual machine where they can whoop back into time. And then they claim that if you go on a different timeline, it won't alter other timelines, but that's not true because we know that when God made this universe, the God of order and a God of time in this physical universe that we live in, this physical one. If you run out in front of a car, you're going to get hit by that car or a train. You're going to get hit by it if it's there. Because and they claim they can go back and create other timelines that won't affect timelines. It seems like a paradoxical error because if you affect one timeline, it's going to affect all the other ones, including this one. So there's no way that you could theoretically make an alternate timeline. Yeah, you could, but it would affect this current one too. Because anytime you change history, if they were able to do it, they would have already done it. And B, they would already have this, and governments would be using this stuff right now. And that evident they don't have that ability yet, even though they would love to have that ability. Thank God, I know. I'm glad they don't. But they would really do a lot of evil with it. I think a lot of people would, instead of doing good, maybe changing history to make it better. But and Google, in an article that's going to be coming out in the next couple of days, is a major whopper of a bombshell. This is brought to you by Infowars and also by Joe Watson, who's a reporter on there from from Infowars, and he basically said it like this: that they admit the gaming their algorithms so they can actually censor people, and they admit that's how they were able to remove Alex Jones off the web, off their server, and how to ban them off of other platforms. So this is what's going to be coming out in the next couple of days, which is bombshell news information. That will be coming out in the next day or so, because they don't want to throw everybody off of all the stuff that's going on with Kavanaugh and all the sexual suits. They want to keep saying it, just like they kept saying that that Trump were in collusion with the Russians, when really it was really Hillary and Bill Clinton that were in bed with the Russians, and they're the ones that were doing the collusion to make it look like Trump did it, when really it was really Hillary and Bill Clinton that were doing the collusion with the Russians, where you see her hugging with the leaked video that came out a few months back. And what's all this stuff where she's coughing every time she goes up to the microphone? She's always coughing real heavily, really hard, and you can be far away and it's so loud, and you see these green things coming out and pathogens. It's like, if you don't vote for me, I'm going to make you sick, and coughing all over everybody. I mean, what's all that about? She looks like somebody that came out of the hospital. I think they're really getting this girl ready to run again, and I think she really needs to not run. I think she needs to be in a respite home. I don't think she should be in the public arena, because she just doesn't have the mental health or physical health, and I'm just being really honest about this, dogmatic about it. But yet they want to get this witch to run again, Hillary Clinton, which is crazy in itself and on its face, because she don't even have the health to run. She don't even have the strength to pull up her pants, let alone to run. So why would they want to prepare this beast to run again? If it's not him, it's going to be this other dude named Sanders that may run in her place. But either way, we need to make sure we vote Trump back in, because he's doing a good job, in spite of all the other stuff that people were saying about him being a Zionist Jew, and and of course it's true. The Israelites are not the same Israelites like we read about in the Bible. They're not the same Israel people of today, of the Israel people that are in power today, because most of Israel is run by Muslims, and it's not the Jews that are running Israel now. It's mostly Shiites and Creites and Sadducees and Essenes and Pharisees that are actually still in power, mostly predominantly in Israel today. So the Israelites that were in the Bible are not the same people that are in it today, because those people were faithful Jews. But these people that are in there now are not those people. So a lot of times, that is true. We did some digging, and a lot of people support these things. That's why we say check who you're supporting, because these people that you're supporting may be quacks. And also, there's a hack going on Facebook. You heard there's been probably over several hundred millions of people that have been hacked, not more like 50 million, but probably 4 times that number. Because, as you hear later on, the number comes out that Facebook, millions of people have been hacked. Their passwords or credentials have been compromised. And even Google has been hacked recently too. So, change those passwords. I always say change your passwords. Have a way to authenticate your account, because that'll help even when people hack you. Because even though they hack you, they don't get all that information. They only get the password. But without that authentication that you have, like a number or some other thing that you use to authenticate to show that it's really you, who you say you are, that they really can't really hack you, because they need to have that information. That's not usually shown, because that's usually stored on your device, and it's not on their servers. And why do they need cloud storage? Why is there a multi-trillion-dollar, or might as well be, why is there a trillion-dollar deal being signed with Google to put your data on servers in the cloud, not real clouds? If you all think it goes in the clouds, then you're all losing it. The cloud is really a bunch of servers. It's a server farm. Okay, it's not really clouds up in the sky, silly. No, it's real hard drives, servers, bunches of them at huge, facilities. That's what they call a cloud. And that's where your data is going to be stored, and that's what they're trying to do with it. They're in bed with the government. And of course, they've always been in bed with the government. This ain't recent news. They've been in bed with the CIA. Google's been in bed for as long as they've been around, since 2003. You know, and they're, yeah, YouTube, more like not YouTube but corporate tube. They really take the U out of YouTube, and they want to move to a more Netflix model. Like when you go to YouTube Red, if you tried it out, it looks just like Netflix. You know, it's no commercials. I've tried it. It's nice, but then they want to start charging you a fee to access a lot of channels. And yet they charge you a fee to watch channels, but yet the people that they're charging, some aren't getting paid that fee. Google's charging you a fee to watch videos. I found out with some of these channels, even though the people should be making money and Google should get a little bit of it too. That's how it was with YouTube, and I'm still waiting for my monetization where they use put commercials on my videos still, even though I don't get monetization on my videos anymore. And the reason is because they stopped it because I'm independent, I'm conservative, and they don't like that. And this station has been all about that since its very nucleus when I put it together on YouTube. You know, you can ask the Shields because they were with me when I told them about it, and they've been watching me faithfully ever since the very beginning. And they know, and it's what this channel's about: technology, conservatives telling you about, and speaking about talking about flu shots. They want everybody to get it. Big mosquito epidemic. They're trying to make it sound like here in North Carolina. They have this new type of mosquito. It's about that long. They're really, really big. They're really that long, and I'm not kidding. And they're called a lion mosquito because they have like lion like markings on them, and they've been found here in North Carolina, and they're really big, and that's why they've been spraying a lot around here, real profusively, fogging the place like probably like once every week, and they're probably doing this probably through November. It's some chemical they're spraying. It's called 3-3, some chemical fog that they've been spraying that goes around the truck, shoots it out both sides. And they were doing it around the court here, and they told people to stay inside for about a half an hour before you go outside because the chemical is so strong. Plus, it's all in the soil and everything, so we don't know what's going to cause cancer. We don't know what this is that they're spraying, but I don't know if it really helps the mosquitoes or not, but they say it does. But they're going around spraying this stuff around. You know, the best way to do it is just to get a thing called a mosquito magnet, and that will definitely get rid of your mosquito problems without using fogs and smogs and chemical agents. And there's another thing that they'll on it looked really promising on Home Shopping Club, and it's called the mosquito. It's called the mosquito vacuum. And what it does is it uses stuff to mock what a warm-blooded animal have, like infrared, like the heat that we give off, and like how we breathe, how our heart makes a beat. They can pick all that up, and that's how female mosquitoes come to you to bite you. And they say that these tiger-like mosquitoes, they have markings like a tiger on them because it sort of looks sort of like a tiger, but they're about that long. They're really big, and if they bite you, it feels like you got stabbed or like something shot you with a needle. Because their bite is really big because they're a bigger insect. And these mosquitoes, they say, they're not diseased or don't have diseases, but how do they know? Because that's what they say. It's just like they said, well, it's safe after the Tower 7 and the Twin Towers went down in New York, and they said it was safe. And it was an inside job, meaning, they had it rigged to blow, on the day to take away our freedoms. That's what they're talking about there. And that's why it blew the way it did, like demolition, because you saw the way the buildings fell. It looked just like a demolition. Like when they knock buildings down with dynamite, they actually put it down at the base and down in the basement. And that's what they did with these buildings, and that's the way they fell, no matter which they fell. And that's how the Twin Towers fell. And a lot of people deny that, but experts have got on the air time and time again and actually said this over and over. So that's what we mean by an inside job. They did this to take away your freedom. If you don't want to believe it, look it up, because it historically and archivally and all, look it up before it disappears off the web, people. And like I say, Google has admitted messing with your algorithms to just to censor people or to block people from seeing your content, and that's wrong. And that's why we need to bust this wide open. And this will be coming out in more detail in the next couple of days. So keep watching and listening on Love FM if you can receive us. I'm going to check the phone and see if we still have if we still got a tone here. Let's see if we got a tone. Hey, we got a tone, people. So yeah, maybe they fixed the problem. I don't know, but I hope it stays like this. That means the signal is great. So that's what we're checking for. Like I said, it's been crazy, but people, but yeah, Michael's going to be here sometime on Thursday with winds up to packing winds up to between 30 to 50 to 60 miles an hour at times at higher gusts. They will not be sustained gusts. Like this will be a quick mover. It's not going to just hang around for 3 or 4 days like Florence did and have like a party. No, it's going to kind of move up the coast within a day or and a half instead of 3 or 4 days. But it's going to, but don't be off your guard because it could still flood some areas. And the areas that are still somewhat flooded may flood again because this storm in this area might impact our area with up to anywhere between 4 to 6 inches of rain. And some areas may have higher amounts still. So it may aggravate some flood areas that still haven't fully drained. And we want you to go around and dump all those containers, low, like containers that you have around your house or tires that you have laying around your yard, dump them, get the water out of there so the mosquitoes don't breed. You want to make sure you do that because it's still going to be warm here during the day. So, and it's not going to get not below freezing until the end of December. So make sure here in North Carolina that you dump the containers so you don't have mosquitoes breeding because they can still breed in 40-degree weather because it's not below freezing. It doesn't kill a mosquito unless it gets below 32 degrees. That's the only way a mosquito really dies because they don't hibernate; they just die off when it gets below freezing. Um, like some bugs do hibernate like bears, sort of like a bear does. But there's some bugs really do, like caterpillars hibernate in cocoons and then they come back as a butterfly or a moth, on what species they are. But like with mosquitoes, when it gets too cold, it just kills them off. Like ants, they go like 6 feet underground where they stay warm. And they just go deeper and burrow and deeper under the ground when it gets real cold. And then when it warms back up, then they come closer to the surface. So that's kind of what they do, and they get a lot of food and store it for the winter. It's kind of what they're doing right now, getting a lot of food. So that's why they're out more, why they come in your homes more, because they're in search for food. So sometimes that's why they end up in your apartment or house where they don't belong, because they're looking for food and because they're trying to get more food for their colony. And so they go into places during a time when they're more active because they're trying to search and find food and water to take back to their colony, so they can have for the cooler months that are coming here shortly, which they know are coming. That's why they want to get this stuff before it gets below freezing. Yeah, so they can burrow underground and have all the provisions they need, like ants. That's what they do. They're really good soldiers, ants are. If you ever watch them, they're pretty neat to watch. If you ever had an ant farm, they're pretty entertaining to watch. Really, they are. You can watch them for hours. They're just like watching fish in a fish tank. You never do the same move twice. So, you know. But the thing is, be ready because even Virginia will be impacted with this with this tropical storm coming up to Virginia. Maybe an extra tropical storm, but don't be off your guard because there'll be tornadoes and severe thunderstorms with these things. And it may even pull in more moisture off the Atlantic Ocean before the storm actually gets here to Virginia, like on Wednesday night, Wednesday afternoon around here, before it even gets here, because the main part of the tropical storm will be over us on Thursday, the worst part of it. Then it will be out of here sometime on Friday. So I don't know if we're going to have that dinner. As far as I know, everything shows that we're going to have this pancake dinner supper at the Blind Center off of Harvey Street here in Washington, North Carolina. Need a minimum donation of $5, and it's not for me. You just give it to them so they can help finance people to go to camp and help people to be able to get adaptive technologies, that need assistive technologies. That's how they help pay for it, is through your donations. And to help people to go on trips that cannot afford to go on trips, they pay their way you're being free because it comes through these donations. And that's why they do these dinners and why they sell baskets, and why they sell the chairs. They have rocking chairs that people have actually painted there that are blind and actually put them together and actually made wicker baskets, and you can buy them and they are on sale, and you can buy them and actually help support the Blind Center for people to go on trips and things and go to camp and things. and that's what you give to when you donate to the Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. So think about that when you come this Friday. Bring that appetite with you and bring friends with you. We'd love to have you this Friday night. As far as I know, it's still on. I'll be DJing there. But like I said, if the weather changes and they decide to move it up to next week, because they may do it because of what happens on Thursday, they may move it to next week. But if I'll find it out tomorrow, and if we do, then we'll broadcast it on Love FM and broadcast it on YouTube and Facebook to let you know that there's been a change, so you can come next week. But as far as I know, it will be from 5:30 to 7:30 this Friday. Is so far it's that way so far, but it may change to next week because of the storm. So we'll just have to see what happens, because that's what they do down here. They cancel things even if it rains. Sometimes if it's like a lot of rain, they'll cancel it. So, but that's good because you don't want to have an event if there's a lot of rain, because you get things wet and short things out. That wouldn't be good. So anyway, everybody, this is some of the things, and they're going to have you're going to get 3 pancakes. You're going to get some kind of sausage, and all I know is it's some kind of good. I've never had it. And you're going to have a thing of stewed apples, and that's what you're going to get as far as your dinner. And there'll be plenty there, but you just need to make sure you have a minimum donation of $5. Okay, $5, $5. That's right, $5. And we'll see you there at 5:30 to 7:30 on Friday, as long as they don't change it to next week, because they may change it because of the weather, because of the tropical storm heading this way. They may move it to next week. So anyway, this is some of the stuff that's going on here, and be careful out there when you're on the internet. If you have been hacked, Barack, what was his name? Barack Griffin, it was his name. He claimed that I was on a list from the lottery saying that I won a substantial amount of money, but never said how much I won, but I was on the list in January of 2018. Then he changed his tune and said, let me check to see if you're still on the list. Because I was saying he was a scam and all that. And, I kept wondering, how am I supposed to, fill out this thing when you don't give me the information as to where I need to go fill out this confirmation form and all? Because he kept going on and on and on about it. Kept saying, did you hear from the agent and everything? And I'm thinking, well, why they use a Google Voice number? Because usually people use a real number, not a Google Voice number. That's a red flag. And then they just kept going on and on about it. It's like he wanted me to give him my information. I'm not stupid, but I think that's what he was doing. But then all of a sudden I saw that somebody must have reported him, or either he just removed himself because the heat was being on, because maybe somebody else reported him because of his scamming activities, because he said he ain't a scam. And I said, yeah, you are a scam, because I've been sitting here, I've been asking you about, well, how do I get the money? And you keep going on, and then there were spelling errors in there, and then, he wouldn't come out and just say the truth about things. He just kept beating around the bush, telling me to refer to his agent, when really it was probably the same person acting like 2 different people, but it was the same person. They call that a phishing scam, but I never gave him any information to get from me, so he couldn't compromise my identity even if he wanted to, because I never gave him anything. So anyway, that was just a scam, and it's weird how his name got mysteriously removed off my thing. So I think that's probably why, because it was a scam. I knew it was a scam. So I want to let you know, if you see Barack Griffin, and it's what he called himself now. He may surface as something else, but it's still the same type of scam. He may call himself a different name now since he's been exposed. So be on the lookout for that. It'd be the same similar kind of scam. It was saying you won money from the Facebook lottery, which I looked up that thing, and there's no such thing as that. So that's a red flag. So he may come up with some other thing. He may say you won money from the Red Cross or something to try to make it sound legit or something, or there was a contest, which there wasn't, but it was a lie, just like this was a lie. So be careful, because this guy may resurface and call himself something else. And also there was a spree of looting in Greenville, North Carolina, where some people went over there and got mad at the police and wrote some racial things, and wrote some pretty lewd things on the police car, and also vandalized their police probation office and their buildings there in Greenville. So we don't know what all that's about. I don't know if this is people that are mad at Trump and mad at Kavanaugh winning. Maybe that was just a sign to take it out on the police nationwide as a move to show their anger, because they don't like that Kavanaugh got appointed as being a justice of the Supreme Court, being a judge of the Supreme Court. They don't like that he's been confirmed and that he's, you know, there. And that may be why they did that. There may have been other national moves in other counties across the state of North Carolina and also in other multiple states, which wouldn't be surprising because there's a lot of these liberal snowflakes and liberal tards that are really angry about him making into office because their lie about him, sexually assaulting three different women didn't work because these three women lied, just outright lied all together in court, just like the three women lied about me over there in the apartments where I used to live because somebody went over there telling them stuff and got that all stirred up. And that's how all that propagated. And that's why I had to leave there because all the complaints and all that stuff got stirred up because they were over there stirring it all up and talking to those people. And that's how all that stuff led to one thing to another. That's how I had to move. And that's kind of what they did to Kavanaugh. They just lied, but it was all lies. I mean, it was just a witch hunt. It's like what they were doing to me over there at those apartments where I lived in Mechanicsville, those HUD apartments. And, the people that were doing it, the three individuals, Barbara, and, she got a new apartment in Building 7, but she should have been evicted, just like Miriam should have been evicted, just like Patricia should have been evicted. But they're still living there. I mean, as a matter of fact, they're telling lies saying I'm living with my uncle still. And I've seen walking around the apartment complex when I haven't even been there since June the 2nd. Haven't been there at all. But they're still going around saying I'm there walking around. And really, probably it's Danny, and he's not even supposed to be there. He's riding around. I hear from a lot of people he's riding around at night, riding around like he's on patrol. And then Barbara, the one that caused me a lot of trouble to live across the hallway from her, lives in Building 711 over there. She's riding around too, trying to see where I'm at. So I like wondering if she's got the hots for me because she's still riding around and all, and wondering if I'm over there when I'm not even there. And it's kind of hilarious, really, and really sad all at the same time. How these people are so crazy and how they just don't have nothing else to do except make up stuff like this. So that's all they do all day long, and then get people to lie about it. Because you can always have those one-way sayers, I call them, where somebody doesn't like you, then they tell a lie about you, and then there's other people they tell, and then those people agree with them, so they just believe what they say and they don't check out anything. They're just one-way slayers, is what I call them, because they just see it the way the person told them that they're friends with. And they agree with them, even though they don't really check out the stuff, the facts, because this person's lying. Because most of the time when they're doing that, that is a lie. And then they get other people on it, and it's what they did with me in court to lie and manufacture a bunch of things, and that's what they did. All three of them under oath. And, to me, they should go to court and be sued for $5,000 a piece for slander, all three of those ladies. And because what they did to me was wrong. And that is what they did. And they made up a bunch of stuff. And it is, what's this I hear about them chasing me out of a complex where I live? They didn't chase me out of there. I remember getting in a truck, but nobody was chasing me behind there to get me out of here. Out of this room that they chased me out of there. They didn't chase me out of there. I left free will and left willingly. I wasn't chased at all. I just got in the truck and came here. But I was never chased out of there, but that's what they're saying. So, it's just all these lies. It's just like, Sean is saying that, I put all this stuff out there to attack her, and her family, which I ain't attacking her family. I just put stuff out there to tell the truth about her. And I didn't put it out there to attack her. I just wanted to expose the real liar and the person that she is, how she courses things out of her children and stuff, and how she lies about things all the time. And how, that Charlie, who can't even see half of what's going on because he's too close to it, because he's married to her, but he don't see it. But this is what she does, all the time. And, that's why she goes through so many friends all the time, because she lies all the time on people, makes things up about people all the time. And of course, it's things out of her children that are not true. So, that's what happened, really, truthfully. And then she's going around telling my mom when she was up there 2 weeks ago, telling them that I put all this stuff on YouTube about her when yet, I didn't put it on there until 2017 and 2018 to tell my side of the story. That's why it's on there, because all these lies have been circumvented throughout Mechanicsville from the apartments and everywhere else. I just got tired of hearing all those lies. So I just wanted to tell my side and tell the truth about what really happened regarding all these rumors and innuendos. And that's why I put it on there. And like I told her from the beginning, don't go over there and talk to my neighbors, which is what she did. It's like she told people that she heard that I was harassing and terrorizing the neighbors when really it was the other way around. These three neighbors were terrorizing and harassing me. And that's really the truth. But they wouldn't turn it around and said I was harassing them. And she said that's what she heard. And you know why she heard? Because she was talking to him. She basically told on herself when she said, well, that's what I heard that Michael was doing. Because that means she was talking to him, even though she told everybody that she wasn't. And she told me and she told my friend Joy she wasn't talking to him. But she basically told on herself when she said that, admittedly, candidly, that she was over there, that she heard that because she's over there talking to all three of them. And she's been over there many times. I've seen her over there talking to all these three of the cats. And even the fourth, Barbara, you know. So, Barbara's still in battle with Miriam over the smoking issue, which is hilarious. I mean, like you gotta be careful what you wish for, Barbara. I mean, Barbara, you got Miriam living below you, the smokestack. You know what I had to deal with, and it was hellish. And like I said, it was bad, But I found ways how to deal with it. I didn't call the office on her. No, I just opened the windows or turned on the air or opened the windows up and blew the stuff out there with fans and sprayed my stuff and it took away the odors. And I didn't tell them, but I had to spend more money because she was a chronic smoker, and now she's underneath you. I don't feel sorry for you one bit. You get what you don't be careful what you ask for is what they always say. And Daddy's still making his little love triangle around there, just going around there acting like he's a policeman, like he's a good guy over there in the complex when yet he was sexually assaulting women over there, many women, as many as 8 or 10 women that I know of. But really is more than that, but they won't come forward. And then one woman reported him, where she's no longer there, but he's acting like he's the savior of the complex, going around thinking they can find her seat, and yet they all lied and came up with all kinds of lies just to get me out of there. And it was all based on lies, all tissue lies from the very beginning, the genesis. And of course, then Sean joined in on the assault, and she added things to it to stir it up even more, and that's what made it a lot worse. Because ever since I got thrown out of the Shields family because of what Sean said, that's what made it a lot worse. Because that's what she was over there talking to them, and they were talking to the landlord, and they were over there going to her house because they all said they were going over there a few times to go to Sean's. So Barbara has been over there because she said she went over there. And I heard her say that, and they were out there talking about it, how they all went over there to talk to Sean. And I don't know what they said to her, but I know they've been over there many times. And just like she's come over there, and I've seen her out there in the car, the blue car they got. And I seen her out there with the white Firebird before that got totaled by Sean, not driving really well. Somebody hit her in the back, but just kind of came up on her real fast and then totaled that car. And I'm glad it didn't kill her. I'm glad it didn't harm her. Because I don't wish anything bad to happen to her, even though she did all this stuff, taking work from me and taking lots of money from me when she took the work from me 3 different times. And then she got real mad at me because I wouldn't give her any addresses. She made a big scene in Walmart because I wouldn't give her any addresses to any jobs anymore. And I said, well, that's because you're going to go call your friend and have him call to underbid me. And that's why I don't give you any information anymore. Why would I do that? Because I'd be cutting my own throat, And so I stopped doing that. She got really mad about that. She got real mad about that because she couldn't take work from me. And she said the reason why she did is because she's got 4 kids to support. That's what her excuse was. And that she had a husband to support, and she didn't have money to pay for computer work, so that's why she took work from me. That was what she said to me. I said, well, that's wrong because you say I'm family, and then you go and do all that. What would you call that? That's being two-faced. Because that is what it is. Because she is two-faced. Two-faced is all get out. She tells her kids a lot of things, like we'll do this, and then she gives them false hopes, and then half the things she says she never ends up doing. So if that's not two-faced, then I don't know what to tell you. But I know they love their mom, and they all know that she is mentally ill, just like I know she is. And I always said that her medicine needs to be changed. And like I said, if she stops talking about me throughout the community and with those ladies over there where I used to live, and stops talking about me around town like I keep hearing, and I'll stop talking about her. And I've said that from day one. But until I see it stopping, I'm not going to stop. When she stops, I'll stop. Because it's not doing any good with her as far as her credibility, and it's not really doing good for her cause because it just makes it look like it's weird why she's making all this noise all of a sudden. You know, there's a lot of things that she says about what she says when she lied about, like what she told my mom and everything. That doesn't add up. Well, why would she continue to allow her kids to come over to my house if I'm such a monster and I'm a bad person and I did those things? If I really did those things, why would you continue to allow your sons and your daughter to come over there and still visit me if I was really like that? 7 other times after the fact. So, like I said, and then, you know, and many other things, and I could go on and on and on because I can tell you it wasn't true. She just wanted me out of the family because it really had to do with religion mainly. But since Charlie wouldn't boot me out on the religion thing, that's why they went with the sexual thing, sexual assault thing, which wasn't true. And and the story kept changing and changing. But that's what I've had to deal with, all these lies one after another pontificated. Then she goes telling my mom, well, I put all this stuff on her about her on the internet, when really I didn't put it on there until after I heard all the stuff she was saying about me and her going over there talking to my neighbors, when I explicitly told her not to talk to my neighbors and not to bring them in it, but that's what she did. And then when I found out that she did that, that's why I started talking about her online, because she lied to me, and that's how I knew, because I seen her in there talking to her. And Barbara gave her a pistol to carry around because she was so trying to say that I would do something to her. That's what Barbara told her. Say that I would do something to her, and I would never do nothing to her. I was never a threat to her or to her family. I mean, they told me, to stay away from them, and I have stayed away from them. I've never threatened her, and I never threatened her family. But Barbara gave her a gun because I saw Sean go up the stairs about 2 or 3 weeks after I was thrown out of the family, and she gave the gun back, and she said that Charlie said that, when she handed it to her in the back, as I saw the gun come out the back, as I was looking through the peek hole through the door, because I was across from Barbara, because that's where she used to live. And she gave it back. Sean went up there real fast and gave it back. Said that Charlie said that I'm not allowed to have this. He said, I talked to him about it, and he said, no, this is not necessary. And she gave the gun back to her, and she ran down the steps and her got into her white car and went off in the sunset. So, but like I say, so all these lies, and it was really weird because, I would never do anything to that family. In spite of all the stuff that Sean's done to me, I would never do that because I'm not that kind of person, and I'm not a liar, and I didn't do anything inappropriately or wrong. I didn't forget about it. No, I remember everything what happened, you know, from start to finish, what everybody did. And I don't think it was right, and I don't think her going over and talking to my neighbors was right either. And especially when she tells on herself and says, "Well, I hear that Michael's terrorizing the neighbors," when really it's the other way around. They were terrorizing me, and that's how you know she was talking to him, because the story was a lie. Like she's boo-hooing and crying to my mother, saying I put all this stuff on the internet about her, saying I always had it on there, but no, I didn't say anything about her until 2017. Because she was talking about me. That's why it's on there. And because I'm telling my side of the story. It's the truth of it, not all the lies and innuendos that all these people have manufactured and spread all around and talk about. So, like I say, like I told her, stay away from my neighbors and stop. Don't bring where I live into it. Don't go over there and talk to them. But she went over there and did it. She just had to do it like an itch, scratching it. So that's why we are where we are today, and why this is out on the internet. That way, it's a warning to people that deal with people that are like this person. They know to stay away from them, because they will use you, and they will take advantage of you, and they will lie, and they will say things about your character and destroy you any way they can, because or eviscerate you, because they're just not a good person and they have mental issues, and they really need a lot of special help. And that's why this stuff is out there. So when you see someone like this person at the store, you need to just keep going by this person and keep going, because of trouble. And that's why I put these videos out there too, so you know to stay clear of this person. Because I always hear Sean always getting free stuff all the time. And I know why she gets free stuff for her family all the time. It's because she's always saying everybody's a family. You know, like everybody she invites into her family is always a family member. You know, when really they're not. They're just friends. But she considers every friend a family member, and that's something you can't do with everybody because not everybody is a family. But that's how she gets free stuff a lot more. You know, gift cards all the time from different people because she always says that everybody's a family member. So she can get things from people because it pulls on their heartstrings. And that's how she takes advantage of people. That's one of the many ways how she does it. So be careful with people like that because, you know, it's not up to people to support people based on using people, you know, because you know you have to work for things you get, and if people help you and they give you a break, it's because they really want to help you, like I did. I wanted to help you, and I want to still help you if I can, but but when you use people to get things, that's wrong, and that's why you don't take advantage of people like that, pulling their emotions and heartstrings so they will do something for you. Um, because that is totally wrong. Um, and it's just that's just what I've had to deal with. Even if she's going around selling that I've said all this stuff about her online, but it is true, and I didn't say it all along. No, the truth is I said it in 2017 until now because of all the rumors and all the stuff she's been saying about me and talking about it with everybody in Mechanicsville and everywhere. I hear from the church and everywhere who she's been talking to and what she's been saying because they don't believe it. A lot of them think she's crazy and thinks that she really needs to get her, head examined and get her medicine changed because she sure tells a lot of tall, wild tales because she says a bunch of things and every day she's always saying something different. And it's not because new things have developed, it's because she's trying to change the story to get people to feel sorry for her. And that's why she tells these horrific lies that sound so amazingly tantalizing. Because when someone tells a good lie, or when they are a good liar, that's how they are. But it doesn't mean they're telling the truth. It just means they're like a sociopath. That's why they tell a lot of lies. That's why they don't have apathy. They don't have empathy. They have apathy. They only think about themselves. That's what apathy means. Empathy means you relate with others, but these people have a hard time relating with each other, with other people, because all they're worried about is what they can get for themselves or for their family. They don't care about what you feel. It's just like when I would be talking to this person, she would always tune me out. And that's what she told her kids. Oh, if you don't like some things that Michael's saying, just tune him out because that's what I do. That's what she would tell her kids. That's exactly what she said right in front of me. And I heard her say that. And, I said, well, there's a lot of things that you talk about. But I don't tune you out because we're friends. And there's some things that you talk about I don't want to hear. Like when you complain about everybody and complain about a bunch of things all the time and how you always wish you had more money and all. And I said, well, the only way you're going to get more money is if you go out there and said, take advantage of people to get it. Go out there and get a job. You keep saying that Charlie don't make enough. Well, then get off your butt and go get a job. You say you can work and get a job. Then if you can work, then go do it. Because that way you won't be able to go out there and be spreading rumors and gossiping all the time, making up lies. But go out there and get a job. And that way you can support your kids. And you can actually go out there and work if you can really do it. But I don't think she could do it because she hasn't worked for over, 10 or 12 years. So it'd probably be too much and overwhelming for her because she would have to relearn stuff, which makes sense because a lot of things have changed in the workplace, with computers and everything. She had to learn new programs and all. But I think if she's resourceful enough, if she really wants to work, she could still learn those programs. And I think it's a good thing. Because, that's part of learning how to work. And if you really want to learn something, you really want to make money, you can get motivated, get off your butt instead of making rumors and lying about people all the time and justify it by making excuses for what you do. You could get a job and help your family out instead of saying that Charlie don't make enough money and complaining that you wish you had more money. When yet he's the only breadwinner in the house that's actually been supporting your whole family all these years. It's just like it's just like 2 + 2 is 4. If you want to be a part of the solution, go to work. And that way you won't have to worry about running your children ragged and worrying about a lot of things that aren't true or a lot of things that aren't happening or chasing ghosts, false ghosts that are in the dark that aren't really happening. Because you'll be working. You can put all your energy in doing a job and make some money instead of making up rumors and worrying about a whole lot of nothing. That's what I've always said. And that's what I'll still continue saying. That's not a lie. That's what you really do. It's the truth. And you do it all the time. You're paranoid about everything. So, like I said, I love you. And I hope this helps you because it's not out to hurt you. It may hurt you because you don't want to hear it. And you may say, oh, he's lying about me. No, I'm not lying about you. You do that. And you're still doing it. So, stop talking about me. Stop spreading stuff around on YouTube. Or not YouTube, but stop talking about me. I'll stop putting stuff out here. And stop gossiping with those people over there where I used to live. And stop talking about me at Walmart and telling people about me and saying things about me that aren't true. And I'll stop saying stuff about you. Because I started doing that when I heard you doing that to me because I told you not to do it and you said I was delusional. And that's the other reason why I started putting stuff out here to prove that I'm not delusional because all the stuff is true what I'm saying. And you know it just like I know it. So stop telling stories. Stop making things up. Stop coursing things out of people that aren't true. And stop manipulating people and start telling the truth. And and that's how you're going to keep your friends close to you. It's a saying, it's always good to be it's always good to be wrong most of the time than always be right. Because really when you're right all the time, you're going to be just standing there in the end all by yourself. Because nobody's going to want to be around somebody that always thinks they know it all the time and thinks they're perfectionists and thinks that, they know everything. Because truly, I know I'm wrong a lot of times. And I'll admit that. That's what a true person does. But someone that's controlling has a hard time with that, admitting those things when they're codependent. They have a hard time with that. It's a fundamental flaw of all people that are codependent people. They have a hard time with admitting the truth or taking responsibility of things that they did. But they always want to turn around and put it on everybody else. I always say they're the reason why all these things happen all the time. And really, you're probably the reason. It's just like when you went over to your neighbor's house and you took Joy over there. Go over there and tell the neighbors about her driving situation. I mean, you didn't have to say that at all. I mean, that was embarrassing to Joy. It's also embarrassing to me because it shows that you can't keep your mouth shut. And it shows that you lied and you said a lot of stuff about me at Walmart and different things, talking to complete strangers. And yet, my mom said, well, it's no different what you did to her about putting stuff out on YouTube and on Facebook. I said, yeah, it is because she was doing that all along. I just started doing that when I found out that she was doing what she said she wasn't doing when she lied about it. And that made me really angry. That's why I started telling the truth about it and exposing her for the liar that she is. That's why I put all the stuff out there because she wasn't telling the truth. And I was going to tell the truth, and that's what I've been doing. To tell my side of the story instead of hearing her narrative to make everybody feel sorry for her so she can con people into getting things for free. And, for people to do things for her because they feel sorry for her. Because this person's a horrible monster. This person's awful. She told my mom all that. I put all this stuff out there on there, and I've been putting all this stuff, bashing her all this time on YouTube. And that's not all true. I put it out there after the fact when she was bashing me and eviscerating my character everywhere she could, taking work from me, and then lying about it. And when I confronted her, and she said I was delusional. And then when she said that, I got angry, so I started telling the truth about what was really going on, who this person really is, this cat, this character. That's why your kids don't get along with you because you always want to argue with them all the time. You always want to have a confrontation with them. You always want to say that they're doing things when they're not. You always want to overread into things and try to read into things, and that's going to make you have a nervous mental breakdown. If everybody just sat around just trying to study, analyze everything that everybody's doing, that would cause everybody to have a mental breakdown. You see? So, all these people are trying to study what everybody's trying to do. I mean, you're wasting your time because you don't know what people are doing because you don't know everything about that person. And I don't care if you're a family member. That still don't make you right. They make you know everything about what this person's going to do and how you can predict because you can't predict because you don't know what they're going to do because you're not with them all the time. And you may know a little more because you're a family member, but it doesn't mean you know all just because you're a family member. So, a lot of these people think they can figure people out. You need to put your energy and time in something else because you're wasting your time. You really are, fundamentally. All you're doing is burning yourself out. And you're just going to have a mental breakdown. You're going to be in the hospital. So, you don't need to be doing that kind of stuff. Put your energies into something good. Turn that negative energy and hatred and revenge and always getting the last word and always thinking you're right all the time. Put that energy into something good where you can do something productive for Christ and do something right monumentally instead of making up lies on people and being two-faced and always having an excuse, always thinking you have an answer for everything when you don't. Because I know I don't. So why do you think you have an answer all the time? Why do these people think they always think they have an answer? I don't know. But anyway, this is just what I've been dealing with. And it's been going on for a long time. And like I said to this person, you stop putting trash out on there on me, talking about me around Mechanicsville and saying that I'm doing things that I'm not doing and talking to the neighbors when you know you have, because I seen you over there. I seen you going over there. I seen you going over there to building 7 when you moved across the hallway from me before I moved out of there. I see your daughter going over there. You know, like I said, if you're not talking to these people, why were you going over there? Because, I mean, people don't go over there to visit somebody unless you're talking to them, okay? Because unless you're stupid, you know, thinking I'm stupid, but I'm not. And, you know, that's basically what's going on there. So, you know, stop lying and stop doing this stuff, and I'll stop doing it, okay? So I'll be checking on you, and I'll be finding out because I got people watching you and seeing what you're doing. I might not be in Mechanicsville, but I got people watching you. I have sources, and they tell me things, so they're really reliable. So, um, just be aware of that. But anyway, everybody have a nice day. And if you stop, then I'll stop. Because, you know, I don't like you lying on me. And I don't like you saying a bunch of stuff, spreading a bunch of things around. So if you don't like it, then you need to stop doing it. And then I'll stop doing it. Okay? Like I said from the beginning, don't talk to my neighbors. Don't go around because I heard you telling Charlie you're going to go talk to my neighbors. You know, I heard you saying that, and you did do that. And you were over there. I've seen you coming over many times. You were talking to all of them. Aaron, you talked to Patricia, you were talking to Barbara, you talked to the other Barbara. You know, I've seen you talking to all of them. Yeah, coming over, sneaking over there, bringing your daughter over there, bringing your boys over there. Yeah, I've seen them. I've even said hi to them a few times. They didn't. I've heard them saying they didn't want to come over to the barbers, but you still brought them over there. See? So, like I said, you know, you're doing that. You know, because you were desperate and you were trying to find somebody to watch them, but they weren't the ideal people to watch them. Actually, I was a better person to watch them and still am a better person to watch them. It's just that you made up stuff on me because you didn't like it because I don't believe the same way you do religiously. And you all knew that. Even Charlie said that. You knew that because it's true. I don't believe the same way you do, but I still love you. But you need to stop spreading rumors around. Stop talking to these people. You know, stop stirring things up like you always do. If you don't like conflict, then why do you cause a lot of it? If you don't like to gossip, then why do you gossip? Why do you hang around with these people? Because that's what they're doing and that's what you're doing. You're associating with them. So there you go. Why do you bring a lot of this stuff on yourself? I don't know. But anyway, take care, everyone. Don't be like that. Be a Christian. Really show real forgiveness, true forgiveness and love. Don't be gossiping. Don't be making up stuff. Don't be slandering people. Don't be manipulating the people or your kids. Don't be forcing things out of your children that aren't true. You know? And you know, and tell the truth about stuff. Stop lying. Stop making things up. All right? Believe me, your life will be a whole lot better if you start treating people like people instead of being a judge and jury all the time thinking you're God, because I know I'm not God. Only God has that part, not you or I. And only He can really be the judge, not you or I. So I can't judge you for what you did, but God will judge you one day, just like He's going to judge me for what I did. And therefore, we can't sit around tit for tat and arguing over stuff. Anyway, I got to go. Take care, everybody. And, you know, let's try to work on this. You know, you stop spreading rumors around, I'll stop spreading rumors around. Stop telling my mom I've been spreading stuff around about you all this time, because that's not true, and you know it. I just started doing it in 2017 because of all the lies you were telling about me. I was just telling my side of the story to put the truth on it. All right. Take care, everyone.